Profit cannot be treated as an event. It must be treated as a habit. But that is not how most business owners approach the profitability of their businesses. Instead, most business owners try to grow their way out of their problems, as if the next big sale or the next big client or some angel investor is going to come along and save them, which actually only makes things worse because now those business owners are desperate, and anyone who is paying attention knows it.
You're listening to the Profit First for Lawyers podcast, the official companion show to the book Profit First for Lawyers by RJon Robins. Now, this podcast is for you if you want to bring home more profit while working fewer hours in the office, spending even more time with your loved ones, and turning your office into a lean, mean, profit-breathing machine. So if you're tired of working for your law firm instead of your law firm working for you, stay tuned for some really practical insights that will get you the results you've always wanted. It's time to put your BS aside for the next few minutes and put yourself, your family, your firm, and your profit first. Welcome back to the Profit First for Lawyers podcast. I'm your host, Carly. And if you've been listening for a bit, you already know that we don't do fluff here. So today's episode is for you if you've been operating under the assumption that your next big sale or your next big client or your magical CPA is going to be the thing that finally makes your business more profitable. Spoiler alert, it's not. Because profit is not an event, it's a habit. Let's kick things off with a clip from RJon explaining exactly why that is and how the primacy effect might be sabotaging your law firm's profitability without you even realizing it. Let's roll the clip.
In Profit First, he talks about how the primacy effect affects the profitability of our businesses. It states that you tend to pay more attention to what comes first and ignore everything else. This is why the traditional approach to cash management and profitability turns out to be so unprofitable because it puts profit last almost as an afterthought. Instead, profit should be baked into your business every day, every transaction, every moment. Profit cannot be treated as an event. It must be treated as a habit. But that is not how most business owners approach the profitability of their businesses. Instead, most business owners try to grow their way out of their problems, as if the next big sale or the next big client or some angel investor is going to come along and save them, which actually only makes things worse because now those business owners are desperate, and anyone who is paying attention knows it. A much healthier approach, a much more rational approach, is to begin by deciding what you want to take out of your business first and take that out of sales before anyone else gets their hands on it. After all, the business is supposed to be there to give you a better life too, isn't it? Yes, this way of thinking about your relationship with your business may force you to make some tough decisions at work or else get creative. But it's better to be forced to make tough decisions at work than to have to make tough decisions at home.
This is one of those concepts that once you hear it, you can't unhear it. If you've been treating profit as something that happens at the end, once all the bills are paid, once payroll clears, once you've handled the million other things that are pulling at you constantly, that is the problem. Just like Parkinson's law says, profit can't be a someday goal. It has to be a right now, every time priority. And if you've ever felt like your team or your accountant just doesn't get it, and that's been holding you back from implementing Profit First, then you're really going to want to hear what RJon said on a recent podcast interview. But first, you guessed it, a quick word from our sponsors. And yes, that's actually just us, offering you a really valuable resource completely for free. We've created a great resource just for you to help you make your law firm more profitable right now. It's called the Profit Leak Assessment. I teamed up with Evelyn Acoyne, who is how to manage a small law firm's financial literacy and strategy expert, to put together a practical and extremely profitable, on-demand, completely free course that's going to help you find thousands of dollars in your proverbial couch cushions. Well, if you're anything like the other law firm owners we've helped anyway. And I promise, no complicated math involved. This is just our way of saying thank you. So sign up now by going to profitfirstforlawyers.com/profit leak or clicking the link in our show notes. Let's hear what RJon had to say on the Agile Attorney Podcast hosted by John Grant. And if you want to listen to the full episode, we've got that linked in our show notes below. Let's roll the clip.
This book is designed to empower, embolden, enlighten. If you've never read Profit First, if you're not implementing Profit First, this is a book to convince your future self. You're going to wake up 10 years from now and either be really grateful that you embraced and started using Profit First, or you're going to wake up 10 years from now kicking yourself. Why didn't I do that? Look at all that missed opportunity that you'll never get back. The book was also written for the law firm owner, I should say, who has read Profit First, and you want to implement Profit First, and you find that your bookkeeper, your accountant, your professional legal administrator, all of your advisors are fighting you on it, and they're fighting you on it. And this book is designed to give you the ammunition, the explanation, the plain English explanation for why you need to take all your excuses, shove them up your ass, and protect my profits first. If you call my CFO, the chief financial officer of my business, and I've got multiple businesses, and if you call the CFO of my businesses and you ask him what happens the very first month he doesn't protect my profits first, he will tell you he will be fired. He knows that. That is a firing offense. There is no second chances. It's too important to my future. It's too important to my family. It's too important to my clients. It's too important to my employees. Everyone needs me to protect my profits first. And my chief financial officer knows that that is a top priority. And I only wish that I had begun doing it much, much sooner.
Yeah, and I can testify to it. I adopted Profit First probably 5 years ago, give or take. And yeah, drove my banker crazy by opening up a whole bunch of accounts, as was recommended in the book. And I should say, right, to get back to it's not a new idea. It's effectively the envelope investing method, or the envelope saving method. There was a personal finance tool, and it's much deeper than that, but it's taking that envelope method and extending it into the business world and allowing you to basically set your financial priorities for your business in a way that aligns with your personal goals, your personal needs, and also the growth and the needs of the business.
Yeah. So the book starts off by saying, if you haven't read Profit First, you still need to read Profit First, right? This is not a recap of Profit First. There's like one chapter at the end where I do a little quick summary of Profit First, but the rest of the book is all really about why law firm owners have their heads so screwed up backwards, upside down, inside out, and up their ass around this concept of Profit First, where it comes from and how to untangle it. Once you untangle all of this stuff, it just becomes so blindingly, obviously simple that only a moron wouldn't do it, right? It's just really simple. The problem is it's all confused and tangled up and twisted around with all of these myths and rumors and legends from who knows where. And so the book untangles all of that. You wouldn't want your spouse or significant other to get their hands on my book if you're not already doing Profit First, because they're going to beat you with it until you do. And it's a hardcover too, so it's going to hurt.
Okay, can we talk about the fact that RJon just said your significant other might beat you with the hardcover book if you don't implement Profit First? Because I was actually at that recording session and I just about died laughing when he said that. I was so glad my microphone was muted. But okay, here's the kicker. I also realized in that moment that I'd been dragging my own feet. I hadn't set up my Profit account yet. So mid-laugh, I had this moment where I metaphorically reached for the hardcover book and just whacked myself on the head with it. Because RJon was right. You hear the kettle? That means it's time for some tea. Now, something you may not know is that I actually attend almost every single recording session that RJon does when he's a guest on someone else's podcast. And that moment that you just heard, that was the moment that finally got me to take action. Now, I haven't had it long enough yet to see all the results that RJon talks about, but even still, I've already noticed that it's shifting how I think about my paycheck. Right? I'm no longer thinking, okay, here's what I made. Now I'm going to pay my bills and then cross my fingers that there's something left over. Now it's more along the lines of, this money is a vehicle for me to create the life that I want to live, to arrive at the life I want to be at. And that has been huge. So how do you apply this to your law firm? Well, here's what you can do. If you haven't read Profit First for Lawyers yet, go read it. We've got a link in our show notes so you can buy the book. And if you have read it, but you haven't implemented it yet, just do it now. Not next quarter, not when things settle down, right now. Just start with 1%. Open a separate profit account. If your accountant or your bookkeeper gives you grief, you know what? Send them the book. And if your law firm can function on 100% of its revenue today, it can absolutely function on 99%. And that 1%, that's where your future peace of mind begins. So do this today. And that's what we've got for you today, folks. I hope this has been really helpful. And remember, profit is not an event, it's a habit. And now you got the steps to know exactly how to make it one. Take care of yourself, take care of your future, and put your profit first. We'll see you next time. Thank you for joining us on another episode of the Profit First for Lawyers podcast. If you're enjoying what you're hearing, tell a friend and buy your copy of the book at profitfirstforlawyers.com. Your future self will thank you for it, and we will see you next time.